Hello, y'all. We're back. We're so happy to be here today. We were sitting in the park today and thought we'd just go ahead and explain where we've been all of this time. Wanted to tell you guys that, you know what? They have said that the computer age is always the best age, but I don't know about all of that. I don't know about all of that. We've had some very serious technical difficulties and lost a lot of the information that we had pre-recorded.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now we're back on the air, though. That's not going to stop us from talking about what we believe God has got us doing. And just wanted to just briefly say how much we've missed you. And
Yeah.
we've got a lot of comments on the blog about different things that we've talked about in the past. So it tells us that people are still watching those our videos. So we're excited about that because we realize that what we're talking about is really what's really going on in
Yeah.
the world today. And since we've been gone, there's been a lot of things that both Ronnie and I have observed, just in the many different places we both are in individually. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in the coming videos. But one thing that has been pressing in terms of the comments on our blog is that whole passivity issue in men. And I know women, I know you guys are suffering in a very serious way. I don't want to make anything seem as though it's not serious. It's a very serious issue for a man to be passive in his home. And it burdens me when women call me and say, I have this issue, Miss Davis, and I just don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. He's a good man, but he's passive. And I can't work with his goodness. That's what makes it hard.
And a lot of them can't even explain where they're at.
And it's just been very difficult for women to just really deal with that whole issue of passivity. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and we'll move it on into the upcoming videos. So let's talk, Ronnie, about some of the things that we've observed in passive men. And I guess we can just get started by defining that. The whole word passive as it relates to a husband, father, whatever.
You know what my definition of passivity is passing it on, getting it away from you. Because I see so many men, and that's why women are saying, I can't get my husband to make any decisions. He can know things going on at the home, but he won't do anything about it. He wait for me to do it. Passivity in the home is very detrimental to a home.
Absolutely.
Because what it does, it puts a lot of weight on the woman. It puts a lot of weight on the woman. And remember, in Scripture, back in Genesis, God made Adam first, and he instructed him first. So Adam knew what he was supposed to do. And it's a lot of these men know what they're supposed to do, but what they're choosing to do is to pass it on to their wives.
I agree.
And a lot of that comes from, Cynthia, from my opinion, is just studying the Scripture and understanding men. Is a lot of them got a lot of insecurities, a lot of inadequacies. Things that they are not really dealing with, so they're afraid to make decisions. Because when you're talking about leading a home, you're talking about making decisions, and a lot of men just don't want to embrace that whole decision making thing because they're scared they're gonna make a wrong decision. So what they choose to do is just to pass it on. Now let's talk about how the home suffer when a man is passive. Because to my when I've examined that, a man when a man is passive, the home suffer in several ways. And from a wife perspective, first of all, the relationship between the husband and wife, because she feel like she have to make all the crucial decisions when it comes down to the home, finances, kids, all those things, and that put a heavy burden on a woman to be able to do that. Let's talk about on his job. A man suffer. He don't move up in levels, when he passive. And that's real important to a family, that a man continue to move forward in his vocation or whatever, job. Because that shows the home that his home is important to him, that he's trying to provide for his home. Some men have just become too lax in where they're at. Chuck Swindoll called it mediocre. He said we accept that mediocre life, and we think we're really doing something. So passivity is very detrimental to a home. Now let's talk about those kids. When a husband won't step in and instruct his kids, and when a husband won't put that time in with his kids, and he's more caring about being their friend than he is being a father.
Mm-hmm.
And we know, because we've seen it, some of us have experienced it on both sides, that when you don't have those two making decisions together, when it comes down to those children, the kids gonna suffer.
They do.
They're gonna suffer. And so the thing about it for me is, if when you talk about passivity, you talking about and when you look at it, the whole thing of even back in Genesis, a lot of people, a lot of theologians, a lot of people that I know that know the scripture say Adam was the first passive man, you know, because he allowed his wife to be instructed by the serpent, and
Exactly.
he just
Sit by and let it happen.
he said by and let it happen. Look at what happened just by what Adam did.
Mm-hmm.
Every human race that came in behind that suffered for that. And so and it's been going on ever since. And you could see along the way, when you see Abraham and his whole generation was passive when it came down to their wives. They was afraid when the Egyptians came. That the fact is that they wanted their wives to be their sisters, because they were too scared that the wives was going to get taken away. So they were passive about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you got several instance in the scripture, so this is not something we just making up, you know,
Right.
because a lot of men, you know, they always think we making up this stuff, and this is a very serious matter. And we getting a lot of, you know, comments from wives that's being burdened down by this whole passivity thing.
Exactly. Well, you know, I guess when we're going to have to end this video right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk about what a man really is thinking in a home where he's not providing leadership and guidance at any level.
Yeah.
Now, I know that sounds crazy,
Mm-hmm.
that how could a person live in a house and not give any kind of leadership or guidance in his home? I promise you that is the case.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that on our next video.
Yeah.
Please stay with us. We'll see.